Hi guys, welcome to lovely Rudding Park up here in Yorkshire. Today I just want to do a little bit of a rundown of what I think are the best wedges for 2018. Okay, so we've got a lot to get through here, so I'm going to try and be quite brief with each product, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a top three at the end, where which I give my favourites and tell you why I like them a little bit better. So, alphabetical order, we're going to start off with BETTINARDI. Much more of a heritage in putters, but they have now started producing wedges. These are their 303 SS forged wedges. A really beautiful looking product, forged, high end, really nice looking product. Technology wise, they've got a new patented honeycomb feature in the grooves just to add more spin, and they just feel lovely. Really nice forged feel, as you'd expect. Shelf appeal right up there with the best. Okay, next up I've got the CALLAWAY McDaddy 4. Huge product on tour, one of the very first CALLAWAY clubs that we saw Sergio Garcia using before he made his switch from TaylorMade. And I've been sort of testing these out for a while, went to the launch event, done quite a bit of on-course testing and driving range testing with these wedges, and they are really good. They're better player wedges, I'd say, just from the proportions of them, and the thought that's gone into these clubs have been all about wedges for the world's best players, and they've got a wider sole grind options here, which are very easy to use. They look fantastic. They've got lots of spin. They've got this new grooving technology which CALLAWAY say adds more spin, and with those grinds I think even your sort of 18 to 24 handicappers are going to be able to have some success with the McDaddy 4. Okay, next up I've actually got two wedges from Cleveland. We've got their newer CBX cavity back wedge, and we've also got their RTX3 more sladed, better player style wedge. Just starting off with the CBX, which was, like I say, the newest one. So easy to use, pop the ball up so easily, and they've got a really nice feel as well, nice soft sound and feel. They're just going to work for so many players. You're not sacrificing anything really when it comes to spin. They've got the same sort of spin technology that they have in the RTX3, and then on the RTX3, these are your old school. Obviously I've got the rusty finish there. They're just the classic Cleveland shape, better player wedges, and I know from using these out on the course quite a bit that they are extremely consistent and they won't let you down. Out of the two, personally I would go for the RTX3. I'm quite a confident wedge player. It's one of the strengths of my game, and I just think these are absolutely perfect. But if you maybe need that little bit of help and forgiveness, maybe check out the cavity backed CBX. Okay, next up we've got the COBRA King wedges. These are interesting wedges because they're actually available in one length as well if you're a one length player. What's even newer than this is you can actually get them in a black finish as well, which COBRA says is a little bit more durable. But these are very stylish wedges. They look great, nice, easy to use, confidence inspiring, and they could add a little bit of style to your bag. Okay, next up I've got the S18 wedges from MIZUNO, which, as you'd expect from MIZUNO, these look really stylish. A really nice finish on there. We've got this forged boron technology that we've seen in some of MIZUNO's irons before, and as you'd expect again from MIZUNO, they just feel lovely. They've just got a really nice soft buttery feel, and these wedges were released at the same time as their players irons, but I'd say these have got a really wide ranging appeal. It's a nice rounded head. It's not really a bladed style wedge at all, but it's not a cavity backed. It's just a larger, confidence inspiring players wedge, and it looks fantastic, feels fantastic. These are absolutely superb. Okay, next I've got the Ping Glide 2.0, but what's new for these for 2018 is this new stealth finish, which they said came from a lot of feedback on tour that a lot of players wanted because it reduced glare. And I've definitely noticed on a day like today when it is really sunny, it does do that. You're not put off at all by the sun glaring back off that face. They're not just useful on those little chippy shots around the green, they'll actually fill you with confidence on those full shots. They're a little bit more forgiving than some of the models here, and I think if you use a cavity backed iron, like with the CBX wedges from Cleveland, the jump is just not so severe if you're moving from a chunky iron down into the wedge. The Glide and the CBX, they're probably the two best if it comes for filling you with confidence. Okay, next up I've got the TaylorMade milled grind high toe wedge, which I think pretty much every single TaylorMade staff tour player has put one of these in the bag. Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Jason Day, they have all absolutely been loving this high toe wedge. We did have their regular milled grind wedges which were released last year. They were fantastic, probably the best TaylorMade wedges that I've ever hit, but this is the new product. It's this high toe, and it's imitating, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that it's imitating the CALLAWAY PM grind wedges, and even going back the Ping I2 wedges. It's just due to this really pronounced toe, which does make it quite a nice versatile club, particularly in the bunkers and if you're chipping out of the rough as well. It's got a lot of face on there, so you can open it up and you can still make some really good contact with the ball. From a performance point of view, what surprised me about this club actually was that it got a really nice spinny flight, but it didn't balloon up in the air on me. You know, you think that this type of lob wedge is just maybe, you know, shoot the ball, but it actually shot the ball out fairly low, but with lots of spin. And I think that's why so many tour players have liked it, because it's not ballooned up. It's still got a lot of control in that ball flight, and that's something that I really liked about this high toe wedge. Okay, next I've got the Titleist Vokey SM7 wedges. When you're talking about wedges, Vokey really have to be in the conversation, because there's so many tour players that use them. They've got such a rich heritage of making some of the best wedges in the world. You know, lots of the great players down the years have used Vokey wedges, and I think that with the SM7 range, we've seen them carry on from the SM6 range. I thought the SM6 were quite groundbreaking. They were massively better than the SM5, and I'm not going to say that the SM7 are hugely better than the SM6. If you're using the SM6, I don't think you need to rush out and upgrade to the SM7, but if you're using the SM5 or the SM4, you're going to really appreciate the performance differences of the SM7. They've got a fantastic look, as you'd expect. They feel fantastic, and you've just got all the grinds and bounce options just to get properly dialed in, get fitted, you know, get the wedges that suit your technique and the type of course that you play on. And if you do that, whatever your ability level, there will be a set of Vokey wedges out there that's going to work for you, and these definitely work for me. Okay, last but not least, I've got the Wilson Staff FG Tour PMP wedge in this new raw finish, which is going to rust over time. Loads of people like their wedges to rust over time. I'm pretty sure there's no performance benefit from your wedge rusting. Some people say it offers more spin, but I don't think that's ever been proven. But this is a really smart looking wedge from Wilson. Lots of cool technology in the grooves to get more spin. And a good thing about this wedge is it's coming in at quite a friendly price point. I think it's the only wedge here that's coming in at under £100. But from testing it out around the greens here at Running Park, they feel nice. The spin's pretty good. So if you want a wedge that's still going to work and it's just going to be a little bit friendlier on the wallet, then I think you should give this one a try. Okay, so like I say, lots of product there, lots of really good product. I don't think there's wedges out there that are heaps better than other ones. I think it's a little bit about personal preference. It's about getting fitted. It's about what you want a wedge to do. It's like about the courses that you play on. So it's, you know, difficult for me to pick out favourites, because I think they're all really, really good. But I've picked out my top three. In at number 3, I've gone with the MIZUNO S18. It looks fantastic, just feels lovely, and it just makes it such good fun to play with. It performs really well. That took me a little bit by surprise, because I wouldn't necessarily put MIZUNO up there as specialist wedge makers, but they've done a really good job with the S18, so that's in there at my number 3. Number 2, I've gone for the Cleveland RTX3, mainly because I know how good this club works out on the course. Had it in my bag for a long time. Really, really consistent, really, really reliable, feels great, really good spin technology, classic looks. If you're a sort of like a classic old school Cleveland wedge man, you really need to be looking at the RTX3. But I have to say my favourite, and it's nothing to do with the fact that I've spent time doing videos with Bob Vokey and I've been fitted by him. Well, maybe it's a little bit to do with that. I've used these wedges out on the course, mainly this year. I've got this 58-degree K-grind here, and I've just been getting up and down from everywhere with this club. It works great in the bunker, works great out the rough. It's really good just chipping around the greens, and these SM7 wedges give me the confidence that you know, I can get up and down from everywhere, and that's what I really like about them. You know, they look fantastic, get a little bit of added confidence from the fact that you've got loads of tour players using them as well, and I just think that they set the standard when it comes to wedges. You may completely disagree, you may have used Vokeys and not got on with them, you may prefer the Pings or the Cobras or the Clevelands, and I want to know why, so post your comments below. You know, I like the Vokeys because they work for me out on the course, and I can't really go on anything else other than that. They're helping me shoot some good scores at the moment, so that's why Vokey my number 1. Tell me your number 1, tell me what you think about this list. If you want any more details, SRPs, specs, shafts, grips, anything at all, post your comments below and we will get back to you. But thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.